Hello, welcome back to the PoddiMouths podcast. I am Peyton Cubic, and this is where my dad and his friend John talk about random stuff in life or the things they found on the internet. I hope you enjoy listening to this episode as much as I did. Here they are now.
And we're recording.
Setting. Oh, already?
Yeah, there was no 3, 2, 1.
Well, that's nothing but trouble for us because normally you just swear your face off just as it's counting down. And then
I really do. And
PoddiMouths,
not only that, when I hit record, we usually have really good banter, but then we have to wait for that countdown, and then we lose it. We've lost all of the banter.
Great. That was a good excuse. Now
Thanks.
We're stuck with whatever we're actually talking about. Dang it.
Well, I can turn it back on. I just found it in the settings.
No, don't.
Okay. I will.
But it's good.
So
as long as you tell me.
I was showing
you don't
you
just suddenly
earlier.
surprise me with recording.
Yeah, exactly. I was showing you earlier, which I noticed I'm going to have to fix and because this is just actually, I don't want to spend full price on our merch. So this is just, the demo that they give you, because they give you a couple of, not free demos, but at cost demos. No, but I got our PoddiMouths sweatshirt because the last one I ordered, if you all remember, it was a little bit too small on me because I normally wear a large in pretty much anything I wear. I'm right at that cusp on a lot of clothes between large and extra large. But if the size runs true, it's large. This, folks, if you order this one, which is the canvas version,
hoodie.
The canvas hoodie version, but also the t-shirts are the same, go a size up. So if you
One
wear
size
large,
up.
get an
So
extra
you're an XL
one size up.
in that one?
Yep.
Are you in a men's XL or ladies this time?
Ladies, of course.
You were just
it's a men's XL
without even going into it. It's a men's this time. Yeah.
Yes, it is a men's this time, and I did give my last one to Jennifer because I had ordered her a medium because that's her normal size, but that one was too tight for her, so now she's wearing my large. And but the one that does fit perfectly is Peyton's because I think I ordered her a small, and she's an extra small and everything.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well,
but
and that reminds me of something we did. Years ago. It's been probably 20 years ago. My brothers and I they have a quote unquote talent show in our hometown during their Summerfest celebration. And I'm not even sure they call it that now. It's probably homecoming again. They've switched back and forth. But the talent show, we just figured, let's just be funny. And so we did a rendition. Remember the cartoon Underdog?
I want to say yes.
They had a theme song for it. And it was, it's ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, and then, oh, that's actually pretty accurate. Criminals in this world appear and break the laws that they should fear, and something like that. So
never seen it.
Oh my gosh. It's just old school, probably late 60s, early 70s. And you can find it on YouTube, but Underdog. And it was funny because his arch enemy was Overcat. Get it? Underdog, Overcat.
Yeah. I got it.
And another guy that was hilarious, Simon Bar Sinister, was an evil scientist. And that was his name, Simon Bar Sinister. I don't get it, but it was hilarious.
I don't get that one either. They're probably trying to make some sort of alliteration and
failed, miserably. Yeah. But regardless, the theme song was famous back then, and so my brothers and I sang it. Well, we wanted to make it a little more realistic. Underdog was an actual dog, and he was the hero of the show. He would turn into he would take an energy pill or something out of and he'd turn into a Superman type dog. We decided we wanted to make it look good, so we had hats like this, and Lisa sewed long dog ears on the inside of the hats. So at one time during the song, we just lifted the hats and ears came out, and it was hilarious.
That's funny. Awesome.
In my memory, it was hilarious. People were probably just looking at us like we were weirdos and just left the bar. Which you
should be used to that by now.
But I get that look a lot. My brother Dave, who is definitely smaller than I am by a lot, but we put him in a boy's medium shirt.
Oh no!
And so it was
I'm taking it he doesn't wear it. There you go.
Had a U on it for Underdog. And oh my gosh, yeah, it was a classic in our own minds, at least. But yeah, the singing and then the goofy. So people were
and not
laughing probably.
When you're
so
saying
they didn't
dog
have to
ears, you're
listen to
not
the singing.
actually talking about Goofy.
I'm sorry, no, not Goofy. But very
No.
good catch.
Thank
on
you,
that,
thank you.
because Goofy wore
I appreciate that.
Similar
Speaking
outfit.
of singing, John,
yes,
you have some singing news.
Oh boy, I'm not sure it's singing news. My men's group from church is singing at a retirement or a assisted living facility this afternoon.
Okay.
Christmas carols.
Oh, fun.
So
that's fun.
We practiced this morning, and let me just say, I'm warming the residents up with some little Christmas gifts because if the singing sucks.
Does it include alcohol?
Oh my God, no, but it probably should. I don't think the church group would appreciate that. Yeah.
You never know,
liquor,
buddy. I grew up Catholic, and some of the biggest drinkers I knew were the priests. So,
well, I will leave that entirely alone unless you deal with that. But anyway, yeah. So we're doing that this afternoon. It'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
I've done it before some years ago, and
yeah,
it's just cool because you know what? These poor folks, not poor. These folks are there, and
yeah, if they're in an old folks' home, they're probably not poor.
No, we don't call them old folks' homes anymore either.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, not even retirement facilities. Yeah, but my mom is in one, and
well, I don't want to say it if your mom's in one.
Yes, I know. That's
I was going to call it something.
Slow you down.
Because we know, hey, mom, mom is not old or retired or any of those things.
She's none of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's 96 years old. She's
good for her.
I did talk to her this morning. They got 6 inches of snow on earlier in the week. How about that?
Yeah.
In Wisconsin.
It's supposed to. I saw a post, not about Wisconsin, but about Minnesota, that since the last year or two have been light when it comes to snow, there's supposed to be a lot of snow this year. That's what they're expecting. Yeah. And I think it's already started. We even got snow down here. We never get snow until probably the end of January, 1st of February, if we get snow. And we had snow at the very beginning of December.
Nothing stuck. Nothing stuck.
No, it stuck. It was just a dusting, and it stuck for the night. It was gone the next day.
Which is nice. You know,
it is nice.
We that was our first Christmas back in Wisconsin from wherever we were, Michigan, I think. And Christmas morning,
so far away.
Just Lisa, huh?
So far away.
Yeah, so far away. Depending upon the weather, it can be 9 hours.
Yeah,
it's very true. But Lisa and Michael and I were all at home. We had no place to go, and it was just snowing lightly. And we're like, okay, this is good. This is a good way
how it should
to
be.
Have Christmas Day.
Exactly.
So anyway, it was very cool.
So speaking of Christmas and Christmas Day, Christmas morning, two things. So when this comes out, this will come out on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve Day.
Christmas Eve. Yes, Christmas Eve Day. That's when this is going to come out. That's going to be our Christmas Day because we're going to East Tennessee to see Mona and Craig. So that is the plan, and it should be a lot of fun, but Mona has to go to work the day after Christmas Day, so we want to let her have a break and stuff like that. So we're moving our Christmas up, and then we'll come home and celebrate our Christmas Day the rest of the week. However, I just came back from East Tennessee. Craig and Mona, if you're listening, I'm sorry I couldn't come visit you. It was a work thing. Mm-hmm. I went to Bristol, and I was there with a coworker.
I've been to Bristol with you before.
Bristol?
Yep.
No, not with me.
I thought so. I thought we visited a client there.
That was Kentucky. You're thinking of
whatever.
Yeah.
Tennessee,
You're thinking
Kentucky. It's all
Richmond, Kentucky. That's kind of
it was especially that. You're right. Very good memory.
Well,
okay, never mind.
Hey, it happens once in a while.
I've been to Bristol before, though. Not with you.
Okay,
good. Apparently,
Bristol is a fun little town. I like Bristol a lot. If I were to choose to live in the Tri-Cities, and that folks is what they call that area, it's Kingsport, Johnson City, and Bristol, the Tri-Cities. Craig and Mona live in Kingsport. I was in Bristol. A lot of the other parts of Jen's family live in Johnson City and Kingsport. So we're going to Kingsport anyway. I was in Bristol. If I were to move there, I'd actually move to Johnson City. I like it a lot better, but Bristol would be a very close second. It's a very cute town.
Nice.
The main street is the border. So on one side, it's Virginia. The other side is Tennessee.
Interesting.
And if you're walking down that street, most of the restaurants are on the Tennessee side because the taxes are cheaper.
Wow, that's pretty funny.
But on the other side, the Virginia side, because pot is legal in Virginia,
come on,
it's dispensaries. Yeah.
You gotta be kidding. So you can go across the street and over at Bob's place again. Yeah, I can tell.
That was not the point of my story.
So?
I went to dinner with my coworker, and he and I were walking back. We went to this nice little Italian restaurant, which that actually I should take out of the description. It was cute. It was fun. But one thing that we didn't realize is that smoking must still be legal in restaurants up there. We're sitting there. We're like, this is a great little place. This food isn't so bad.
Somebody was smoking.
Someone just lit up. Yeah. And in the middle of the restaurant. Like, wow. I haven't seen that in a long time. Again, I digress. Not part of the story.
But still important to note.
Yeah. So the restaurant we were at was at one side of that main street. The hotel was on the other side of the main street. So we walked. So we were walking back and we get to this intersection and there's a cop directing traffic. Lights are working. The stoplights are working, but there's a cop directing traffic. We're like, what the heck's going on? Why is he doing that? And he's not doing a very good job, mind you. The people were not following. At least he might have been doing a good job, but the people that were in the cars didn't know how to follow a cop's directions.
Oh my goodness. Obviously,
so it was a mess. We're like, this is weird. And then we keep walking, and now there are crowds of people everywhere. And we're like, did we walk into some sort of festival or something?
Yeah.
And then we heard jingle bells, jingle. It was a huge group of people that were just walking down the street caroling. And they had a police escort. So there were cops on both sides. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
And I was thinking, one, how do I get out of here as fast as I can? Because it's way too people-y.
Right.
But then the other side of me.
Talking about, though?
Probably 100.
Wow.
Probably 100. Yeah, it was a big group. It was a very big group on both sides of the street.
Okay.
Walking down, that was the first thought. The second thought is, this is really cool. This is something that we are missing in our society now. People that are willing to do this, willing to go caroling, willing to be out in the cold. It wasn't that cold. It was like 50 degrees, but being out in the cold and actually enjoying each other's company and spreading cheer and love to everyone else. I haven't seen that. And probably 35 years, 40 years, maybe.
Yep.
I loved it.
I agree.
I absolutely
think that is something that is, sorely missing.
It is.
Yep. That's a great idea. They're doing
that
it
was
in
my
Bristol.
story. It was. They're doing it in Bristol. They might do it other places. We just happen to be there at the right place, right time. Going to Kingsport this weekend now, so hasn't even been a full week. I got back on Wednesday night, and today we're recording on Saturday, and we're leaving Sunday morning because Jen had to work today.
We did do some. Speaking of caroling, we did do some in our neighborhood a few years ago. I don't remember how many people we had. I suppose 10 or so. But what we came to realize is most people live in the backs of their homes these days. They don't. They don't sit on the front porch. They don't. No. They're not in the front room. Most people are away from the street.
Yeah,
and that's true of our last several houses in Wisconsin. We were in the basement most of the time.
Yeah,
and because that's where the bar was. True story.
Hey, I don't blame you.
I did build the bar there, but also the big TV and the couch and yada.
Sure.
So, but people aren't out front, so nobody knew we were caroling. Apparently, we need bigger speakers or something. I don't know. What we
needed, maybe that's the key. Yeah, ow. I got something in my hat that's scratching my bald head.
Well, then don't take it off.
I know.
Because everybody thinks honestly that you have a full head of hair.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's why I keep wearing a hat during this podcast.
I know. That's
actually most of our listeners know I'm bald as all get out.
But that's okay.
That is okay.
I call you sleek.
Yeah, slick Nick.
Sleek.
What were we? Caroling, East Tennessee. People in the back of the houses. I can see that. The front of our house, it's Jen's office. So yes, she is in there during the day, but wouldn't be at night. And then the other side of the front door is the dining room, which we never use. Then the kitchen and the living room is in the back, but then we spend most of our time in the bonus room, which is above the garage. It has no exterior. It has one exterior window that's facing my neighbor's house, not the front.
Right.
So yeah, that makes perfect sense. And everyone whose house I've been in on this street is exactly the same way. So you're right. Everything we do is in the back of the house.
And I think years ago it was different. People would be in the front room or, or on the porch or whatever, if it's warm enough. But yeah, it's interesting. So they've done kind of a cool thing in Venice here that they have a Christmas parade.
Okay.
And I mean, they have maybe 100 floats or units that that participate in it. And it's on their main street. They have a perfect drag for it, Venice Avenue. And it's just, they have, 70 or 80 foot palm trees, and they're all lit up and beautifully decorated. Well, yeah, Venice is kind of a hoity-toity.
A bougie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'd hate to be the guy decorating those.
I can't even imagine, but I know they've got the cherry pickers or whatever to lift them up and get them. But it's nice. And then, and people kind of get into the holiday spirit a little bit with that. It seems like it's,
we've talked about this pretty much every year. And if you haven't noticed, folks, this is the Christmas episode, the holiday episode, depending on your, and also the last episode of the year. Because we usually take the rest of the year off.
Yeah, we
deserve it
with taking time off.
Yeah, that's ironically, that's not false. I don't know if irony is the right. Well, it's not the right use of irony, but still.
No, but that's okay.
We're taking time off, so we're taking time off. There you go. I was looking for mine earlier today, and I couldn't find it.
I have another one, but this is.
Well, can I borrow the other one? Can you just pass it through the screen?
Sure, I'd give you this one. Yeah,
I love it.
The Rastafarian Santa.
Oh, see, that would be perfect for me. That would be absolutely perfect.
Yes, that would be good for you.
Yeah, so this is the Christmas episode.
Clearly.
And I'm excited because today I think I mentioned it's Saturday. Mm-hmm. And it is the first day of vacation, and I feel it already. It's just like all of the stress just went. And it's only because I know I have a little over a week off. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be working. We all know I'm a pretty workaholic-y.
Yes.
But I will take the time. Instead of being at my computer, I'll just have my computer with me. There's a big difference. Mm-hmm. It really is a big difference.
It's a huge difference. There's no doubt. Yeah.
And
I'm like you, I will sit in my office and just, get stuff done or whatever I need to work on or whatever. But yeah, it's totally different when you're traveling with a laptop or something. It's just
exactly
just a different.
And we're not traveling the whole time. We're only going off for a few days, like I said. So I have plenty of time off until after the new year. I'm still going to work.
Yeah.
Jen and I are going to work on her business. I do have some of my work to do. And, we're trying to figure out a couple of things. And one of them has to do with, if I haven't mentioned it before, I don't think I ever talk about my Jeep on this program.
Not often enough.
I don't talk about my Jeep to my friends at all, or my coworkers, or anyone who pretty much listen. The lease is technically up January 20th.
Okay.
And I don't know what I want to do. I took we're taking the Jeep to East Tennessee. It's the one that has the most space and also the one that has the fewer miles on it compared to my midsize truck, which is also leased.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed something obviously that's comfortable and can get there. And I find the Jeep very comfortable. I know that the tires need to be replaced. Other than that, it's in tip-top condition. So I went and got my oil changed, and I went to the dealership where my buddy works, and I sat behind the tower or up on the tower, and we went through a bunch of different options and still couldn't find anything that was worth it. And I the owner's son walked in because I've met him before, and we were talking, and then I went back to working the deal with, his name is Nick as well, with Nick, and I just blurted out randomly as we were going through it, and I'm like, wow, Jeep just really doesn't want to sell me a car, do they?
Nice.
Right, and the owner's son, without skipping a beat, it's like, yep, I don't believe in selling cars.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but it's amazing. I would have to get into another 4xe to even make it close to making sense.
Wow.
Because I think how he figured it up, and they've already discounted the vehicle quite a bit. So in fact, I get a discount through work on Stellantis vehicles on Jeep, and it's 1% below invoice.
Okay.
They had it listed cheaper than what my 1% below invoice would be on their website.
Wow.
So Nick was like, I'm not even going to do that. Save the number because it's cheaper if we just sell it to you for what we've got. And I'm like, all right, cool. And we go through the deal, work through the deal. And I think at the end it was like $8,700 off. That was the rebates and that was even before the discount.
But what did it start as?
68.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
So working all of that out, and it was still, after all of that, still over $700 a month.
Good gracious. Well,
it just blows my mind. Now that was the 4xe, and that was after taking everything off, and I mean, as much as he could possibly do without losing his shirt, that was what we got down to. I don't necessarily want a 4xe, but they're discounting them so heavily, or so heavily that that's what we looked at. Looking at a regular one with everything that I want on it, the lowest payment we got was $1,100 a month.
Oh my gosh!
Lease.
Wow,
Lease.
The heck!
I didn't, and
see,
it just blew my mind.
It's like with used vehicles too. I mean, clearly an MSRP is from the manufacturer, the suggested retail price, but pre-owned vehicles, dealers can put whatever number on them they want. It just doesn't matter. As can somebody selling privately. You can ask whatever you want for it.
It does matter to the dealer.
They
did purchase that vehicle for something.
But what I'm saying is they can jack it up as high as they want.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's the beauty of a pre-owned. It doesn't matter how much they discount it. What matters is what did they pay for it, or what's the cost on it, or because on new it's ridiculous because they can compare at different dealerships because they're not the only ones that sell Jeeps. So that's why you get people on the phone calling from across the country. And some of them will fly in to see them and do business with them if they save them $200, which is stupid.
That wouldn't, no.
But it happens. You get people who do that, and they're just, I saved $200, so I flew over to Texas and picked one. Did you?
The plane ticket cost me $500, but hey, I saved $200.
I've heard that. I'm trying to prove a point. Good for you, boy. I bet that dealer is going to be pissed that he didn't lose $500 on you.
Yeah, exactly.
So some of it's just crazy, but starting out at 68 on a new one is just, and that's a 4xe, and that's
a 4xe. So incredible. Obviously that's going to be a little bit more expensive because there is more technology in there, but even at that,
but bigger discounts.
Our buddy Matt,
yeah,
he said even at that, that's a $45,000 vehicle.
Yeah. I would even have a hard time. He's right, clearly. But that's why I don't buy new anymore when it comes to certain vehicles like that. My F-150, new, I know it's in the same price range. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a $1,000 a month payment or whatever.
I would do that on a used vehicle as well, but I would never buy a Jeep used. I
tend to agree with you. I understand that.
That one's a tough
line of thinking.
So the other option, as I had mentioned before, is buying out my Jeep. But interest rates are not, even though they've gone down, they're still not great. So even buying out my Jeep is cost prohibitive unless I go out 84 months. And I don't really want to do a used vehicle at 84 months, even though I'm the one who used it. So there's something to be said there.
True, but even 72 is just like,
that one's pushing it. That one's pushing it.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss. Anyway, I asked Nick, I said, when I got all my paperwork 3 months out, because I always start the process 3 months out when you're, because it's part, you want to do your research and blah, 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 blah. Well, let me back up a little bit. Well, no. Actually, I don't need to yet, but I will have to caveat something.
Okay.
So I said, when they sent it to me, they told me, obviously I can buy it out. Obviously I can trade it in for something new. I can leave the keys. But the fourth option is something I had never heard. You can extend your lease.
Oh, okay.
So I said, have you heard of that, Nick? He's like, never heard of that. I don't know what that is or why, what the situation. I said, can you look that up for me? And then I had to go. So he was going to get back to me. Well, I come home and I'm doing work and I'm going through my email and I get an email that my payment for my Jeep hadn't gone through. And I'm like, well, that's weird. There's plenty of money in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't my Jeep payment go through? So I go into my Jeep account, and it wasn't even for the amount that it was supposed to be. So me being as anal about this stuff as I am, I didn't let that slide. I called the financing arm as quick as possible, and I told him what was going on. And the guy on the other end of the phone said, "Oh yeah, there's a bug in our system on the last payment for every lease where we are the ones who cancel it, and it's always for a different price so it forces customers to call us on their last payment."
Wow. That doesn't sound like
I'm
a bug. That sounds like an on purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, that sucks. And he's like, yeah, I know.
Nice.
And so I went through and he pushed the payment through, which was technically my last payment. And he's like, do you have any other questions? I said, well, I have you. And I went through that whole spiel, So what is this extension? Do you know anything about it? And he's like, oh yeah, Jeep offers up to 6 months extension on your lease at the same payment that you're making. If you haven't made a decision or something like that, you're more than welcome to do it. No penalty, no nothing.
I mean,
yeah. So
interesting.
I was thinking of extending it for 3 months, but one of the other things I'm looking at doing is if I am going to get a new Jeep, I'm putting quotes in the air for those of you listening, then I'm going to build. I have to build it because there isn't a Jeep that I want within 500 miles. Okay. So I have a very particular thing that I want. If I'm going to spend that much money, I'm getting exactly what I want.
Well, and this is a question, if you extend it 3-6 months, do you think interest rates are going to be lower?
I do think they'll be a little bit lower, but I don't think I put it, and I said this to Jen, I said, if it drops below a certain number, I would consider it.
Well, for pre-owned, that's what I'm thinking, that for you buying it out.
Right.
Because as you said, to know how it's been cared for, and you lived through some crap with that, the 4xe, and you've got everything ironed out now, as I'm presuming told me.
Maybe
almost everything ironed out.
Almost everything, yeah.
Okay.
Some of it is going to take modification that I can't do if I'm leasing it.
But if you buy it, though, you can.
Yes. Yeah.
You can obviously do
I'm probably using the wrong part, but it's the only thing that popped in my head. The control arm on the front, that is bad, and it's a known bad Jeep part. I can get it replaced under warranty with the same part. But
so stupid.
So the service manager at the dealership said, you're better off buying the rough country version for $500 and putting that on. And I asked him, I said, well, will that void anything with the warrant, or not with the warranty, but the lease, because that's an add-on and because it's rough country. Yeah. And he said, yes, if you turn it in that way. Yeah. But what I would do is give you the original part. You hold on to it. When you come back in, we swap it back. And I'm like, that's just that's just a pain in the butt. And what if I break the part? I can't resell it. Yeah. And so anyway, those are the type of things that I'm dealing with. So the vibration that I get, that particular thing was, I've got a little bit of a death wobble when I hit a bump. That fixes the death wobble. But I can't obviously fix it unless I own it the way I need to fix it if I want to fix it correctly. Same with the vibration in the wheels.
That's crap. I would talk to the zone rep, the service rep.
Already did.
Seriously. Really? And he can't do it? Oh, man.
Not going to do anything about it.
Boy, this is where
I talked to him about the vibration.
Yeah, I would chase that crap down.
Yeah, well.
It's your fault. It's their fault.
It is their fault.
If the part is not correct and they haven't done a recall, I mean, that's really what they should do is put in the rough country
they have to
part
fix the
that's
part
correct.
First.
Huh?
Yeah, they have to fix the part first. Because I can get the Jeep part.
Yeah,
but it's just going to do the same thing.
My point is, he should pay for it. You should not have to pay a penny for the rough country part that fits and works.
True.
You should not have to. And so,
and maybe I won't if I own it. But if it's a lease, they don't care. They're just saying, well, turn it in, get another one.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, then it'll be on the next owner.
Yeah, but they'll own it, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. Excuse my language.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm in that, but I did go ahead. I can do 6 months, but I can choose. I could do a month at a time for 6 months, or do what I did, and I I just extended it for 3. And if I feel like extending it for another 3, I can, because if I build, it's 8 weeks out.
Sure.
And I haven't decided if I want to build yet. So that gives me a month to decide. And then it gives me 2 months to build if I go that route.
The only thing I would check would be the residual value.
50.
So,
50%. On my current one or on
currently, and what does that do 6 months down the road? So if you extended 3, extended 6, I would just want to know what you're responsible for at least at the end, how that varies.
Yeah, I would be curious. I should have asked that. I didn't.
It's a question they should have told you.
I think it's in the contract. I just didn't read it that closely.
Did you recontract then?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I would check that just to see that. And again, you know these people, so it's not like you're,
I did this through Stellantis. I didn't do this through the dealership.
Oh.
Because dealership doesn't do it. Stellantis
that's right. So you did it on the phone.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, made it pretty easy. And then I texted Nick and I said, this is what it is and this is how you do it. So now he knows. He hasn't responded, little jackass.
Oh, okay.
If you're listening, Nick, I love you, man.
Didn't I meet Nick with you?
No.
Okay. I met a guy named Nick that was also worked at, he was at a different OEM.
Different dealer.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool though. That he
I know lots of Nicks.
Trying. Yes, really stupid name.
It is a stupid name. Try having 3 icks in your name. Have we talked about that before?
Yeah.
My mom used to call me Icky
Dominic.
Nicky.
Icky.
Yeah, Nicholas
Icky,
Dominic Cubic.
Yep.
Nick. So much fun. So that's my Jeep Saga, folks. I get to keep it for another 3 months, which that does excite me a little bit. Takes a little bit of pressure off, and I can keep it for another 3 months after that. So that actually means I have 4 months left with it.
I think it makes it though more of a reality that you could buy it out if you'd like to. And honestly, when you're looking at a $68,000 price tag on a new one, just the MSRP, regardless of the lease,
for one that I don't really want.
Well, that's just it.
I like mine. I really like mine, even with its issues.
Yeah.
I like mine better than I like the new ones. Now, I have to put another caveat on that, and I had to do that with Jen. All of the ones that I have rented or test driven are not the trim level of mine. Mm-hmm. So it's either not been a Rubicon, or it's been a Rubicon, but it hasn't had all of the bells and whistles, didn't have leather seats, didn't have heated anything. So
did you build yours out?
I did not.
I didn't think it was an order.
I got lucky. I'm missing one thing that I wanted. Everything else was exactly how I wanted it. So I was like, the one thing that was missing, well, technically there were 2, but one of them's kind of, I'll tell you in a second. The one thing that was missing was a forward camera. I wanted a forward camera.
Oh,
I can add that later, but that is something I wanted, along with because I know you hate it, but the cruise control, the radar cruise control.
Cruise.
I do like that. I'm a fan of that. I'm one of the few. Yeah, I think that really likes that. The other thing that wasn't as not prevalent, it wasn't as big a deal breaker for me, if it was one, is white was not the color I wanted originally.
No.
White was my second choice. I wanted I don't even remember the color. They don't make the color anymore, and that's why I didn't get it, because I couldn't build that color either, and no one had it. Well, I take that back. One dealership had it, but he wasn't willing to deal at all. So I was like, no, I don't care. And that one was a 4xe. So I actually,
good job.
Looking back on it, so I test drove that color, and I actually didn't like it as much as the white. One thing for me when I'm driving a car, folks, I know this is, maybe it's weird, maybe it's not. One of the things I look for is the hood appeal. What does it look like out the front window when I'm driving? What does the hood look like? And is it something I like? The profile of the hood. And I liked the profile of my hood with the white and the black and the blue. So that's why I actually would now, if I ordered, I'd order white. I wouldn't order another color.
Well, then you're in great shape then with your white one.
Yeah. So to answer your question, that was a long story. It had pretty much everything I wanted, and it was close, and it was available, and I just snatched it up.
And it's become, I mean, you've made it yours, and and that's
for what I can
some
do.
of it, better or worse, living through the crap that you had.
Yeah. Well, I don't like the new.
Anything that gives you a death waffle is not good. Of course, I think in terms of a motorcycle, It's
Sure.
a little more dangerous on a motorcycle to be in a death
Yeah,
wobble
in a Jeep, all you have to do is slow down.
Exactly.
It'll come out eventually. And it's not
My
a true
goodness.
death wobble. True death wobble is you can't control it. And
Yep.
it's no matter what you do, it starts going.
I've seen
It's
a couple videos of guys on motorcycles with holy crap.
Oh, that's so scary.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And which says you should not be driving or riding anything that is that bad. That is just obviously not balanced in any way.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You're 100% right.
Gosh.
100% right.
Crazy.
So,
wow.
But I don't like the front grills of the new ones, and I don't like the instrument cluster, not the instrument cluster.
You're picky.
I don't like the
your
big
Jeep.
screen. I don't like the big screen.
Yeah, you're picky about your Jeeps.
I am very picky about.
You've owned several, so you know what you like.
It's exactly what I like.
Yeah.
I was even being made fun of because the folks at that dealership know who I work for.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you work for X, but you drive a Jeep. And I said, well, I've got two of the other X's at home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're just trying to mix it up.
Yeah, mixing it up. And that's the one I feel most comfortable in. I know I'm weird. Most people are like, you feel comfortable in a Jeep? I'm like, yeah, I feel most comfortable in my Jeep.
Well, but again, this is part of it is historical with you since you've owned so many of them and for so many years as well. And it's way more comfortable than your first Jeep was.
Yes, it is.
Because the old 2 doors versus the
2
4
doors
doors,
with
and honestly,
no cruise control and a soft top.
The wheelbase, the lengthened wheelbase does so many things for the ride. It's just incredible.
And then the weight with the battery in the center of the vehicle.
Yep.
That's another conversation we were having. Pros and cons of driving a 4xe versus a regular Jeep. And I mean, bottom line is the 4xe is going to run smoother because there's more weight to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's the center of gravity is different.
Yep. Well, yeah.
So
that's lower mounting of the battery.
Exactly. That's my Saga.
Very
that
cool.
Is
so let's talk Christmas since this is the Christmas episode.
The Christmas episode.
Sort of.
I'm going to go down and put a bow on my Jeep because I get to keep it for 3 more months. Merry Christmas to me.
I think that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea.
Thanks.
So what you are you are heading to East Tennessee for pre-Christmas, right? That you're leaving Monday, did you say?
We're leaving here Sunday. We come back on Tuesday.
Got it.
No, Wednesday. Wednesday is Christmas Day. So Wednesday.
Yep. Awesome. We have 4 different worship times at our church.
Okay.
And I say that because Lisa and I are serving. We oversee the guest experience team. So could you say you overserve? We've been overserved. Yeah, I would say we're going to do all 4 of them on Tuesday. So it's not that big a deal, but they start, the first one's at 1:00 and I think the last one is 5:30. And our big campus that seats 1,000 people, that one, they're doing 5 services. They're doing one at 7:00 as well. And I'm
wow.
Like, but they're going to be full probably for 4 of them. And it's just incredible. We get it's a smaller campus, but we'll get probably 150 for each service, which is great.
Wow. That is great.
Terrific.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's how you sprinkle them out. And I guess my question is, what do people do if they're, staying home for Christmas? Do they celebrate? A lot of folks celebrate on Christmas Eve, or their families in and they come Christmas Eve. But what's the best service? Is it early afternoon so they can,
I think
get
it depends on
later,
the family.
or is it, more of an
My
evening
biggest
thing?
problem with later services is it cuts into my drinking time.
Well, yeah, we're not doing communion, so that would be a problem for you.
There you go. See?
That's funny. Well, then, so you'd want to be at the early one.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Have I told you, speaking of drinking, off topic,
yeah,
you did answer my question, though, because I was going to ask if you were going to Wisconsin for Christmas, but obviously you're not.
No.
Because you've been to Wisconsin a lot this year. You've been up there quite a bit.
A few times, and Lisa went. We have. Lisa's dad passed and had a military funeral, and
Those are so cool.
Yeah, so we were there for that, there for Thanksgiving. But it was cold on Thanksgiving. All right, you won't see us again until
imagine how cold it is for Christmas.
Oh my gosh, I know, and they got snow.
Snow. So we with the oh shit, what were we talking about before I went to Wisconsin?
You need to write stuff down.
I really do.
Or
I'm just playing with my cord. I'm just doing this with my cord.
You need to scam it so we think, oh yeah, Nick was going to talk about.
Yeah, but I want to be honest with our viewers, listeners.
Whatever, they know.
I don't. My brain doesn't always.
Listeners and viewers know you.
Yeah.
And
I haven't taken my ADHD medication today. Right?
Yeah, they know you.
Gosh, I cannot remember. What were we talking about before I asked the Wisconsin thing? Drinking. There. Thank you. See, that was it. Have you?
Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe I'm not drinking enough.
Maybe that's what I was
Have you? I don't remember the name of it. I'm going to look it up right as I'm talking about this. But have you ever tried? Well, let me.
Yes.
Because I want to fill. So while I'm looking this up,
yes.
Oh, come on, keyboard.
Have I ever tried?
I have a tough time with Bloody Marys.
Oh, okay. In what way?
Sometimes they're just a little bit. I mean, I love. Okay, I got it. I love Bloody Marys.
Okay.
Period. But I can only have so many before I'm just like, it's just kind of. So,
yep.
One day we had Bloody Mary mix in the house, but we were out of vodka. And I was like, I'm hankering for a Bloody Mary. So I looked up what else would be good in Bloody Mary mix.
Tequila, I would say.
Tequila is one of them, but I don't have any tequila because I just tequila. Then here comes the red snapper.
Okay.
It's basically a Bloody Mary with gin instead of vodka.
I would say gin, but boy, you get that.
Buddy, I love it.
Really? Okay.
I am done drinking Bloody Marys. I'm only going to drink red snappers from now on.
Wow.
They are so much.
For you.
I'm using Gordon's.
What kind of gin, though? Because it varies so much. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Nope, not Gordon's. I'm sorry. Beefeater. I have Beefeater downstairs.
Oh.
Yeah,
because
I got a bottle.
Different flavor than
it is. It really is. So I apologize for those of you who are just about to order your Gordon's.
Well, they probably ordered,
but it's Beefeater.
Now they're screwed with you because you.
Yeah. So Beefeater is what
Okay, Beefeaters. Okay,
Beefeater. Gordon's is cheaper than Beefeater, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It is. Gordon is like bottom shelf.
It's like rail.
Beefeater is like right in that middle.
Gordon's is rail.
Gordon's is rail, exactly.
Which is fine.
It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. I know people that have had Gordon's before.
So Beefeater.
It was a gift, so I wouldn't normally get Beefeater, but it was a gift. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm just going to put it in my mouth.
Nice.
Thank you. But I was like, on on Thanksgiving, I just started drinking those. I'm like 4 in.
Oh my gosh.
Not quickly. This is the whole day.
I mean, I can't do.
Where did your audio go? Your audio just cut right out. Oh, you're on mute. No, you're muted again. What did you do? There you go.
I hit my space bar.
Oh, don't do that.
Well, I didn't mean to.
You were getting so excited about the red snapper.
I have very big hands. So I can only do one Bloody Mary and I'm out.
Yeah, that's usually something laughed too hard. I got stuck.
Wow, that's
not to get smashed drunk.
No.
Like I had them all through the day, but I'm the same way. One Bloody Mary.
Yep.
Maybe I can sneak in 2, but with the vodka,
it's like
I'm always
saying,
like,
I just had 6 Guinnesses.
I love Can't do it. Can't do it.
No, I can do maybe 2, but that's it.
But red snapper,
get full.
Down like water.
Wow.
It was great. They're great.
But you did everything else the same. I mean, do you doctor them up quite a bit or not really?
I do doctor them. I use Zing Zang. I love Zing Zang.
Yep.
That's my favorite. But then I put a little bit more horseradish in if we've got
Horseradish is the hot tip for me.
Yeah, I love horseradish. Yep, I also put a little bit of Tabasco.
Yep.
I tried it once because Cholula is my favorite hot sauce.
Okay. Yeah.
But it doesn't taste as good. No, it has to be Tabasco.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I love Cholula on eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or almost anything. Pizza. But
Pizza's the best.
I can see that it wouldn't be as good because it has a little different
flavor profile,
quality, I think, than Tabasco does. And Tabasco, of course, is fermented, which
gives it's just 2 ingredients.
What's that?
It's just 2 ingredients, 3 ingredients maybe. Because is there salt in there? I don't remember.
I would think probably, but there's not much in it. But they
salt, the Tabasco pepper, and vinegar.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it.
And it ferments, and so they're like, it's like a winery or distillery. They have stuff that's aged. It's I've seen something on the tour of their facility. It's amazing.
Yeah, you have to go to Louisiana. Couldn't get the word out. I was going to say New Orleans, but it's an island off of the Louisiana coast.
Interesting.
I think it's the only place those peppers grow.
Really?
Yeah, I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be.
You are.
Let's see. Where do Tabasco plants grow? Tobacco, not tobacco, Tabasco.
Nice. This is where your searches end up.
Tabasco plants grow best in the Mexican state of Tabasco.
Oh,
that's not true.
Name.
Yeah. All right. Let's Tabasco sauce. Tabasco plant, Avery Island, Louisiana.
Oh. And they're actually grown there.
Yep. Where is Tabasco sauce made? The McElhenney family has made Tabasco sauce on Avery Island, Louisiana for over 5 generations.
Wow.
Built on a salt dome. It's a mysteriously beautiful place where the red peppers grow, the factory hums, and the abundant wildlife can be seen in jungle gardens.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, we learned something. Listeners, viewers. Hey. No extra charge for the learning.
No extra charge. Nope. Merry Christmas.
And that's what we got you this year. I learned about Avery Island. You're welcome. Don't open it. Put it under the tree.
Exactly. Use it in your red snapper.
Tabasco. Use what?
Use it in your red snapper.
Yes, in your red snapper. Gin is so widely varied, and I guess it's true of vodka too. But gin has such a unique flavor profile.
It does.
Aviation is probably my favorite, but because it tastes least like gin.
Okay.
I mean,
I can see that.
It does. But Tanqueray and
Tanqueray's good.
Some of the others, they have
Hendrix is my favorite.
A completely different.
Yeah.
Hendrix has a completely different profile.
Yeah. It's a
aviation, for example.
Cucumber.
Yeah.
Cucumber based.
Yeah.
I do think the Beefeater tastes a little bit cucumbery to me.
I don't get the cucumber as much as I get the, the plants.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I just can't say it because I don't drink.
I can even see it in my mind.
Yeah,
I don't know. Beefeater makes a pretty good G&T though, gin and tonic.
Yeah,
that's what my mom used to drink.
It helps. The tonic helps with that for sure. With a different profile for
not elderberry. I'm getting closer though, right?
Yeah, you are.
It's a berry.
Crap.
It's what gin is based on, folks. Yep. That's where he's going.
I know it.
I can't think of the word either. Now we got to look it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is
we got so far off topic about Christmas and gin. Merry Gin Miss. I don't know.
A maximum methanol content of 5 grams per hectoliter. Oh, you should know that.
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's just in the back of my mind at all times. I've got to talk about it. That's probably what people hear when they listen to our podcast.
What they hear what?
Blah, 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 blah.
Maybe.
It's like the Peanuts.
Spirit must have a
juniper. Juniper berry.
Gracious.
Yes.
Ugh.
That was so easy too. How do we not remember that?
Because I was thinking of May, June.
May
doesn't sound right. So
no,
I was 1 month off.
Yeah.
I just made that up.
Genevember.
Oh my goodness.
I'll have to tell you something off the air. A great name for some things that have been being put together lately. So I can't say it on air though. It's not appropriate for our listeners.
You're teasing our listeners. Cut it out.
I am. Well, they've all
you
heard it. Most of them have heard it.
it.
Most of them have heard it already.
Oh, yes, probably.
They have.
And the others don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Excellent.
Well, everybody, I think we still have a lot to talk about, but we'll save it for next year.
We are going to save it for next year, which will be how many year we're starting?
We're going to be starting our 7th season. 7 years.
Cow.
We have officially completed 6 years of this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
And people said that it was never going to make it. And look at how many people we've gotten to listen to us babble on about nothing.
We really have. And
suckers.
But it's about everything too.
Exactly. That's what it says on here. You know?
I know people were screaming juniper for the last 5 minutes. So that's why I had to look it up.
Yeah.
So
anyway, folks, thank you for putting up with us and listening to us for 6 whole years. We hope that you and your families have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, all of that shit. It's great. If you want to make sure that you get a gift in time for Christmas, don't go to our store. No, because it's not going to get there in time.
Christmas next year.
Unless it's for Christmas next year, because it might actually come in time for that. Maybe.
You should get an early start. Because if you're still looking for gifts now, learn the lesson.
It's a little late
for next year.
Amazon, depending on where you live. You could get Amazon delivered today. It'd be a tough one. Maybe. I mean, we could.
Yeah.
So anyway, head up. Even though it's not for Christmas, head up to the merch store, buy some stuff. This is very, very comfortable. I'm really enjoying wearing it.
It's lightweight too. It looks like
lightweight. It is. I'm probably going to take it off and hang it in my closet and get a heavier weighted one. Because it's freaking cold out today. It's only. I think the high is only 37 today.
It's cold,
which is wonderful. It is not actually. Actually, it's usually not until January, February when it starts to snow. Does it get super cold here?
It's only going to be in the 60s here today, if you can imagine.
Really? So. Isn't it the winter solstice today? Saturday?
Today, tomorrow. I know.
Today into tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's my birthday.
So it's I know. Yeah, I know that. Not. I do know that. Yeah, I can show it to you.
It's on. It is the winter solstice. It's the longest night of the year, which was great.
Longest night of the year. Yeah. You weren't supposed to tell everybody it was your birthday.
I mean, care.
That's good. I'm glad you don't care. I do care.
Know. Yeah, I know. You don't tell everybody. I found out yours one time. So.
Wow. Wait a second.
It's nice.
What's wrong with my calendar? I usually have your. Oh wait, I'm looking way too far out.
About the 22nd of December.
What the hell?
Just take them out, so we skip that day.
There it is.
Good.
See,
like that.
It was. See, it's on there.
It sure is. Oh, you're a good man. See,
I try. I try. I don't put my birthday on there because I forget it all the time.
Celebrate him anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Once you get as old as John, you don't want to be reminded.
Just you know what? Tell me, wow, you look good for 40, and then I'll say thanks for the present. And then we move on.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, John, happy birthday.
Thank you, my
people
brother.
Can now say I didn't forget, even though I wouldn't.
You wouldn't
because I didn't. One, I did remember, and two, it's on my calendar, so it's going to remind me anyways.
Can't hide from you.
I have to remind myself when my birthday is.
Yeah, I know, and it's not really a thing these days. It used to be years ago when I was 7. I think.
Yeah, exactly. I just never enjoyed my birthday. I don't know why, but that's a topic for another time.
Wow. Yeah, we're going to have to unpack that in 2025.
2025. Yeah. Exactly. Can you believe it's already the end of the year, though?
No.
2024 went fast. Went very, very fast.
But I'm happy about that for most things.
Most things, yeah. I'm really looking forward. There was. And I am really looking forward for multiple reasons, some of which I can't talk about, some of which people already know. For 2025, there are so many really cool things coming up and some big changes in our industry that, the news has been everywhere about that when we're talking about the news in our industry. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. Because I don't look at it from a negative perspective. I look at everything as a positive move.
Yes.
Things have had to change for a long time. And I think one, I think a lot of things changed for the better during COVID, and everyone was freaking out. And I think the challenges that we're facing in our industry right now, it's a big opportunity for all of us, and I'm really excited for it.
And taking from Jim Rohn, who said, "It's not important what happens to you; it's what you do with what happens to you."
Exactly.
And that's our industry. That's
it is
a hot tip. So
it is.
Looking forward to
very much so. And of
you are
course,
listeners and viewers.
Yeah, and I look forward to seeing this podcast expand,
Boom.
or at least our waistline.
Lord knows, I that's not the part I want expanding. Man, good gracious.
Too late.
Yeah, so we'll come back with resolutions. That would be fun.
We will. That would be fun. What resolutions are we going to break this year, folks?
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I would love for everybody that's watching or listening to leave in the comments what their resolutions for 2025 are. Yeah. We'll mention some of them on the podcast. I would be really interested in hearing. I know after saying that, I'm going to hear from Bill first, which I love. It's one of my favorite things.
Because I haven't heard from Bill for a while. Last I saw of him was his tattoo. And I was a little disappointed he didn't have PoddiMouths on there.
Oh, the last thing I think I saw was he was putting his Camaro into storage.
Awesome.
Yeah.
As he should.
As he should, especially in Michigan.
All right, y'all. Merry Christmas.
On that note, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We will see you in 2025.
Looking forward to it. See you, Pally.
Bye.